मैनू लहंगा ले दे महंगा दे मर जानिया ओ मर जानिया ओ मर जानिया. Hey guys, this is Gunjan. Welcome to Glittering Arc, our second episode of Expert Speak series. Do you know in Indian wedding, 8 to 10% of the entire budget of the wedding ceremony is allocated for the wedding dresses, and 70% of the Indian brides wear 3 to 4 different types of dresses on their D-Day, followed by their wedding reception. So as soon as the wedding dates are finalized, the first and the major question that pops up is what will be the bridal look, what will be the bridal attire for the different wedding functions. So we are here today with our expert Deepta Raghunath, a fashion designer. Let's hear from her what's in trend and how to finalize the wedding attire for the D-Day.
Hi everyone, I'm Deepta Raghunath. I'm a fashion designer and freelance makeup artist. And today I will be talking to you about the current trends for brides to be, and also what are the attires you could probably kind of be assembling for your wedding and what you could put in your trousseau. And to begin with, first of all, I would like to mention that since not just because we've been going through a pandemic this year, also in general, I think sustainability is where we're heading. So, sustainable weddings would be more like the trend, the years that we're going to face. I mean, not just this year, but the years to come. And so, I mean, to keep it minimalistic, I know weddings are the most. I mean, your wedding would be the most special day of your life, and you'd want to do that with all grandeur. But having said that, minimalistic weddings is what we're looking at. So, when I say minimalistic, I would say not to compromise on your clothing, of course, because you want to look your best on that day. So what ideally a bride would probably wear all these years would be typically maybe a typical red kanjivaram sari or a pink kanjivaram sari, or probably a red, blood red lehenga, or a North Indian bride would probably wear a nice pink, fuchsia pink lehenga with a good embroidered choli and a nice dupatta with embroidery all over, with good heavy borders. But what's currently trending is more or less multicolored, maybe multi-paneled lehengas to go out of the box and not stick to red, because I think red has been associated with a bride for far too long, and now we're looking at maybe a little more earthy tones, little more pastel hues. So we're looking at blues, we're looking at mint greens, we're looking at pastel colors basically for a bride. And you could always also, it's not necessary that you would have to wear a lehenga and a choli, or probably wear the heaviest of kanjivaram sari. I think you can even wear completely maybe badla worked, embellished floor length anarkali, and you could look like a princess. So no, don't just stick to a particular outfit, because brides have been wearing that all through the years. So you could also experiment. You could probably wear floor length anarkali. You could also wear, if you're open to it, you could also wear a bright colored sharara, or even a sharara sari for that matter of fact. So I would say brides don't really stick to lehengas or saris. You can actually venture out and do other stuff too, and stick to what you're comfortable in. At the end of the day, I mean, you shouldn't be wearing something that you're literally hesitating to walk around with. And being a designer, I've always had my customers come back to me and tell me that, like, I would want something which I will use again. Like most of you guys, I'm sure, would relate to this, that your wedding lehenga, your wedding sari has been placed in your wardrobe for the longest time, and you haven't been able to reuse it unless and until it's your brother's wedding, or your sister's wedding, or like a really close friend's wedding. So I would say you'd rather invest time, energy and money into an outfit which is wearable, grand, at the same time you can be wearing it on and off. So if you're going to probably do a floor length anarkali, for that matter of fact, which is probably golden embellished, badla is always a classic. So if you do something like that, you could always, team it up with a bright colored dupatta, wear it for like an evening reception, or you could just keep the anarkali as is for maybe a Diwali function. So it's not necessary that you would have to wear it only for a wedding. So keep that in mind, that you would want to reuse it and use it again in the future. That is one thing. And also your mehendi outfits and your pre-wedding functions, or during the wedding, you have your mehendi, you have your cocktail, you have your, I know you want to kind of experiment and have the best of the best outfits for those days. While you're designing or while you're kind of planning an outfit like that, I would suggest you to keep in mind again the reusability of the outfit. So probably I would suggest something very comfortable, very chic, very trendy. You can go extremely experimenting on this outfit, because this is a more light-hearted event, and it's not gonna, I mean, looking at most of the mehendis, they're not extremely crowded as your main wedding. So you can stick to, now what's trending for mehendis are more or less like shararas. Shararas have always been associated with maybe Muslim weddings or Muslim brides, but not necessarily. You can always don't like a good sharara with a beautiful peplum top, maybe a nice good high neck peplum without any dupatta. That could, because I'm sure dupattas and any added layers for a mehendi outfit is only going to make it uncomfortable for you, because you will be sitting idle for quite some time, and after that you probably want to let your hair down, you want to dance. So keeping it very simple, keeping it to just one piece or two piece maximum would be the best way to go for a mehendi. So you could also do like a nice, like a mid-length skirt. Like your lehengas need not be full floor length. You could also wear like a good knee-length skirt with a chic, strappy little choli. You don't really have to wear a dupatta. You can probably have a cape on based on the climate. If you're looking at a summer mehendi, you can also wear like a simple, a normal frock, like a dress which is strappy, which is probably shin length. But that could be made out of like a nice, a pochampalli fabric, or it could be made out of a Kanjivaram silk fabric, so that you're keeping the Indianness of the whole outfit, but you're doing a nice, like a Western silhouette. So these are the things that you could probably mix and match for your pre-wedding outfits and your wedding outfits. So coming to your trousseau, what would be ideal to put into your trousseau? I would say try to keep it simple. At the same time, try to keep as many different possible outfits in your trousseau. Maybe it could be a mixture of saris, it could be a mixture of one-piece outfits or tunics, because you also have these small little functions post-wedding that you want to wear, or your first festival after your wedding. So you need not really wear a sari. You could have like a nice draped skirt with a cape and a nice Indian looking jacket or a choli. You could also do a floor length Indian embellished jacket, or an embroidered fabric stitched into a jacket with probably cigarette pants. You could have outfits like that. And I would say if you have a custom where you need to take about 5 saris or 6 saris, I would say try to collect it from different states. Maybe have a Paithani sari, you have a Kanta work sari, have a Kanjivaram sari. That way you can also dress, so you can style yourself accordingly. For example, if you're wearing a Paithani sari for say for maybe one of the festivals, you could probably accessorize it with probably a nut, or probably have the typical Maharashtrian way of draping the sari with a typical Maharashtrian bindi and a nut. So those little things that you could do to dress a little differently for each occasion. That way you don't have the monotony of wearing the same sari, same blouse for every function. So I would say keep the trousseau very simple, minimalistic, at the same time very different. So you have a set of different clothes. So you have saris, plus you have a couple of one pieces, plus you have a little tunic. Now, for example, you just have a baby's naming ceremony, you can't probably wear a sari. You could probably wear a really nice, simple, maybe slightly worked tunic with maybe dhoti pants. So keep the trousseau very simple. You don't have to spend a lot to time, energy and money onto a trousseau. So have a mixture of things is what I would say. So overall, try to keep it minimalistic yet very trendy and stylish for your wedding, be it the main day or be it the trousseau. So this is all I would want to, this is what I would kind of share with all the brides to be for this year or the years to come. Keep it simple, keep it classy, and keep it very sustainable. because that's the direction we should be heading ideally. Thank you.
Hope you like this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please mention that in the comment box. Please do follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Links are given in description. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. We'll be uploading many interesting and useful videos on every Wednesday and Saturday. Ta-da!